Hello, I'm Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity and creator of Bogash Life and Balance. And as a practicing chiropractor who sees my share of jaw pain patients over the years, this particular study I found quite interesting. And first of all, the thing I need to clear is that if you have jaw problems, patients always come in and they say, I have TMJ. Well, TMJ is actually temporal mandibular joint. So technically, yes, unless their jaw is completely missing on both sides, they have a or two TMJs. So the technical term would be TMD, or temporal mandibular disorder. So probably won't remember that, but it's something that always kind of leans a little bit of chuckle when somebody comes in and they say, I have TMJ. Well, technically, yes, everybody has TMJ, but jaw problems are a totally different story, and they can suck because we use our jaw for everything from talking to chewing. And the thing to understand is that the jaw is it's been referred to as a muscular sling. So I'm going to go over the results of this study, then I'm going to talk about how we treat TMD in the office. And what's very clear is that stress plays a role in TMD. The other thing that we have to talk about when we talk about jaw problems is bruxism, and that is grinding your teeth, which can happen at night when you're unaware, or during the day when you may be aware but not conscious that you're clenching your jaw. And stress can clearly play a role in that, including marital or relationship stress. So this is a study of 310 people. I want to say like 60-70% of them were women, so definitely a predominance in women. But they found that the people who were married, they were 600 times more likely to have jaw pain and chronic disability than the people who were not married. And women were 762 times more likely to develop jaw pain. Wow. So it's not that stress is the only player, but it certainly becomes a player when it comes to jaw pain, because some people just have a tendency to clench either at night when they're sleeping or during the day when they're awake. So different treatments for jaw pain. Some medical doctors will use Botox injections. Not my favorite way to treat them, because you're not actually fixing the problem. You're just paralyzing the muscles for a while. The dentists or oral maxillofacial specialists will use, sometimes they'll use different mouth guards, night guards to there. I don't know. I'm certainly open for discussion on this if anybody wants to get in their feedback, but I know that the argument is sometimes that you have to have the right type of mouth guard so you don't get this feedback and more clenching at night. Just don't know that I've seen that versus an over-the-counter night guard. I've been a diehard Bruxator for years, which is why I have a lot of gold crowns, because I've gnawed my teeth down to nubs and ended up with 6 or 7 crowns as a result of that. So I've always used an over-the-counter night guard, and I found that my compliance with that is much higher than the one I had that was prescription made. So not entirely sure I'm convinced that the prescription ones are any better than the over-the-counter ones, but again, always open to ideas and feedback from the listeners if you have any different thought process on that. In our office, we do a lot of work on the muscles. That can have everything to do with the masseters here, the temporalis up through here. For people that are more severe, you can actually get inside and address the pterygoids. Don't ask me to spell that. I always have to look it up, despite working and addressing the pterygoids for decades now. You can actually get into a little bit of the masseters in there. You can actually address the back of the joint capsule in the ear canal. So there are different ways to get creative, and I find that we do that, and most patients do much better with their jaw pain or the TMD. Also, at the same time, you really have to address the muscles of the neck. There are patients who get whiplash, never touches their jaw, and a certain chunk of them develop TMD type problems because the musculature in the back of the neck have a big role to play in the balance in the muscles in the front. So really, it's not just addressing the muscles of mastication, it's also addressing the muscles of the neck, because those can play a big role in the balance that you experience in your jaw. As always, I'll paste the link to this particular study in the description. Does not mean that you need to run out and get divorced if you've got jaw problems, but maybe you need to address everything else or stress in your relationship. And make sure you like this video, share it with somebody who you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.